fucked up, man. It's a sign of respect.
Thought if I came and looked at this, I might find my way back, you know?
Wanna know what I see up there? A fantasy, man. A dream.
What's up, gang? We are officially back again. Let me run through some of the updates here. Man, we got the new peak in Pine and in Canyon. I got my little GZ1 topper here today for the Canyon joint. I'm definitely going to be hitting that. And we also have the pivot in Pine, which I just happen to not have on my desk right now. But I'll show that to you guys in a second. But the pivot in Pine is available. If you've been waiting on a new pivot, that color is absolutely insane. You know you're going to love it. It feels like it's the color of the year. In general, this type of green. Let's see, it's coming. Thank you. Pivot Pine right here. There it is. Looking very pretty. Especially next to the Pine Peak. That's the new stuff that is currently available. If you missed it last week, you do want to jump on these. These are seasonal, so they will be around for a bit of time, but not forever. These are going to eventually go away. What else, chat? What else? Glass Marketplace, we are mostly sold out, except for a couple of pieces. Bravo again to all the artists involved. You should check our Marketplace page. Woody, when you get a sec, if you could just drop that or somebody, if you drop that Marketplace link in there, into the chat. What's this? Oh, these are the three that are left. Yeah, let's show them. All right, let me see if I can pick the artist name without hearing it. I think I know off the... This one I don't know. So this is Enough Glass. Enough Glass has a few pieces left. Let me show this from the top. He's got his dino head. Think with the dino one? The next one. Cool. Sick. And then next up we have the D Glass Art, right? This is D Glass Art. Yep. We used to have the proxy button on the side here. It wasn't in the best place for glass. So he started cold working the side, so you could hit the button of the OG proxy. Well, the new proxy does not have that problem. We move the button. This is D Glass Art. He's another great one. He's been making pieces for proxies almost since the beginning. And then last but not least, guys, I actually don't know if is this Hefe? It's Hefe? I guessed it. Sick. Sick, man. You know, I got ball knowledge, chat. Not about sports, but I got ball knowledge. This has come from Hefe Glass, OG in the game, man. We gotta ask Kevin to pull out the old Hefe prep work. Whoops, where's the button? There it is. We gotta ask Kev to pull out the old Hefe prep work. He did like Puffco tubing that had the logo everywhere years ago. We were gonna turn it into a peak top. It just never came to be, but Kev probably has that somewhere, or it got made into a piece that I never saw. The black one is D Glass Art, correct? Correct. Action Bronson video up now on the Puffco YouTube, not this YouTube chat. Now we've grown this page to being bigger than the Puffco page, and we're starting to show love to the Puffco page and getting content there that you guys will appreciate as much as you appreciate what we do here. It is up now. It's on the Puffco YouTube. Can we drop a link in the chat for Puffco YouTube just so they have that? Yeah, please go run it up, like it, leave a comment. Man, that was a crazy moment, actually, that video. So like, I went to New York because I wanted to be available for Action. Action is a very, very important person in my life, not as a friend or a confidant or anything like that. I'm a fan of his. This was my idea. I don't like saying that this was my idea, but this was an idea that I seeded. We should work with Action on the new proxy release and use him to champion the product. Because he's such an amazing hash head, because of all the people that he speaks to, that aren't just people that are into food, or aren't just people into heady glass, or aren't just people into hash. It's a wide spectrum of people into it. And so I was in New York, and again, I'm just there to support. It was really tough. I forgot what the fuck was that, right before PuffCon? What was that? I remember like we pretty much like got off the plane and got right to work. Like I was in New York. Oh no, I think I left to New York 10 days later. That's what it was. Yeah. So like I went to New York for this, went back home, and then went back to New York like not even 10 days. It was like 7 days later. So I'm there again, chat. I'm not there to do anything except for be available, make sure Action knows how much respect we have for him, that like this isn't just a project where we're using him as the face of something, but this is an organization that is overwhelmingly fans of what he does. So I'm there. I have no expectations, chat. I didn't go and get a haircut. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure I was heavier back then, too. How long ago was that? When did the proxy come out? It wasn't that long ago? Maybe I just looked heavier in the video. But, like, I didn't dress up that day. Nothing, man. And Action was like, Raj, you come and do this bit. Did not expect it at all. Also, he had Jeezy do the bit. Jeezy was just there for vibes. Jeezy was there to just hang with us. He's homies with Action. He's homies with our team. He's homies with me. And so that video was a very impromptu video. And chat, you're going to see the only bite I took this year, except for my birthday, of not vegan food, where I'm like, shit, now I'm in a pickle. I'm here. They got a bunch of donuts. All these look super good. I can't sit here and be like, well, guys, I gotta do it. I gotta risk it for the biscuits. So it's a super dope video. Please go and watch it. It is me, Action, and GZ1 talking about flavors, you know, trying to relate some of that to the proxy experience. Shout out to Winston Bakery. But that was one, chat, you know. I had to do it. I had to break the regiment for Action. He was absolutely worth it. And I didn't make it weird. I didn't go and just throw up right after and make a big deal. I just had that delicious donut and kept it moving. Up on the Puffco page now. I believe we dropped the link right up there if you see Jolly Roger HQ. Can I pin that? Nah. Anyways, hit that link. Please go like it. I mean, watch it. Watch it through, bro. You don't want to watch it? Just let it play all the way through for us. Do me a favor. Even though it's a very easy watch. Like it. Leave a comment on there. Good or bad. I hope it's good. We're proud of this work. But good or bad, leave a comment. This really helps us. We're trying to break through all these algorithms. I believe that our team is making the best content in the game by fucking far in every area that we do it. But some of our videos aren't even getting 100,000 views. And it ain't because it's not dope, man. These videos are highly engaged with for the people that actually get to see them. So please, help us break through the algorithm. Also, if you go to the Puffco page, Puffco HQ, Jolly Roger, Puffco CEO, you could add Kevin and Chelsea to that also. If you click notify, like, what is it, the top right, it used to be notifications on. When, like, somebody posts, you get notified.
It should be a little bell.
It should be a little bell symbol in the top right of the profile page. Throw that on there. You should know when we're posting something. You don't want to miss that. It could be a sale, which is kind of rare, but you know, Black Friday is this month, right? It can be a new product dropping. I saw a Large Boz. Shout out to the homie, bro. That's one of the best humans out there. I saw Large Boz post this up with the proxy, and then somebody was like, I've never seen this thing in my life. When the fuck did this thing start to exist? People just don't know. And, you know, we're going to keep reaching them. I think the best way to reach people is through their friends, and their friends put them on. But if you turn on those notifications, you're not going to miss stuff from us. Please do that. Check our page. Shout out to you, Jared. Shout out to you, bud. More importantly, shout out to Jared Shaw, who is continuing to fight for his life in Indonesia. I don't have any major updates for you guys. The fight continues. He is holding hope. He's been in a really bad place, assuming that he will be facing a firing squad, which is how they do the death penalty out there, is a firing squad. And he's starting to let hope into his life that maybe he can have a better fate than the one that's been put on his plate now. So big shout out to Jared Shaw, man. Big shout out. What else do we got? The Jake Guapo video is up on the Jolly Roger HQ YouTube. So if you haven't seen it, please jump in there, check it out. It's a great story explaining what Spray Pack is and giving some context on who Jake Guapo is. So if you haven't heard of either of those, or you've only heard of one, it could be good to go and complete this picture of what is going on in New York. What are spray terps? Yeah, it's a great video. Our team killed it with that one. And obviously, last but not least, I cut to it early, but free Jared Shaw. This is a really important issue for me. This is a really important issue for the space. If they are putting one of us to death anywhere in the world, I do not care where that is. I respect all countries and their traditions. I'm not here to tell people or nations or ethnicities or anything how they need to behave or how they need to act. But I think we can all agree that killing somebody for what they consumed in their body without hurting anyone else is archaic. It's backwards. It is not what human beings should be doing. He deserves better, and we all deserve better. And so if you have a drop of empathy or love in your heart, I'm asking you to please speak up for Jared. It's really important. Yeah, now is the time. Now is the time. And big shout out to Dante West, man. I mean, in a different world, they would have been making a movie on Dante West. You have to understand, this is a guy who has been to prison for cannabis, got out of prison for cannabis, and has dedicated his life to freeing other people. Heard Jared Shaw was facing the death penalty, jumped on it himself months ago. Last Prisoner Project doesn't operate outside the United States, so they couldn't do anything to help him or support him in any way. Didn't fucking matter. Dante West jumps on a plane, uses his own money, goes there, starts meeting with lawyers and doing everything he can to free Jared. And I gotta say, in my life, I have met very few humans that are on the level that Dante is. He's a real leading example of what it means to not just have empathy, but to act on it. So big shout out to Dante West, man. He is a fucking G, and I'm hoping that after we free Jared, and I really hope that we get to do that we can get to work on helping others. But he is the fucking man. Let's drop Dante West's fucking Instagram in the chat, just so people know where to follow him or catch updates from him. Outcast is known for the best proxy piece, but y'all didn't include him in the glass market, in the glass work. So like, this is the thing, man. Like, I've seen some people come through and be like, how the fuck could you not include this person? You know about them. I don't know about them. You know what I mean? Like, the glass community is really large, and best is subjective. And so like, I would say when I see those comments and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How dare you not include this person? It doesn't make me want to include them very much. It's not great advocacy for them, right? A better thing to do would be, this is one of my favorite artists. Please consider them for the future. This whole program is here to platform artists that we believe people should be seeing, getting easy access to their work, and seeding the idea of you can actually go to these artists direct to get your stuff. The benefit from this is strictly to the community. There's not really much in it for Puffco. We don't really make money with this. There's some margin in there for us, but it's not exactly making us money on top of what it costs us to bring this to life. The whole goal is to support the glass art community. And if you think we could be doing better with that, or we could be considering others with that, let us know. But if the whole perspective is, fuck you guys, you need to be doing things this way, that is just not a great way to advocate. And, you know, you're not helping that person. You're seeding I might have heard of Outcast Glass before this. Maybe I hadn't. That name is someone new and you wrote it. I'm like, Outcast? What do you mean Outcast? Like, that is one of the best bands, groups, duos, easily could say that, of all time. I didn't realize that. So like, putting us on doesn't need to come from a place of like, how dare you not know this? Just not helpful. OTP is the only class that is more or less requested for me to enjoy Peak Pro. Their caps top tier. That's awesome, Sparkplug. And you guys could send that to Kevin sometimes. Like, if you ever see some fire ass glass and you really want to advocate, Kevin is the one who in the company usually is working with glass artists the most, you know, like I may tell him what my favorite is or who I want to work with. But yeah, that's the best way to advocate it. Just plug us to that info and we'll consider others. Griffin, I have heard of that glass artist. That glass artist has literally been attacking our brand, I think, since 2018. So I have heard of him. I'll never plug him. I'll never promote him. He's just somebody who's had a very contentious relationship with us for reasons I just can't understand. And even saying it here is going to lead to me having to, I'm sure, deal with him again. So yeah, I have heard of him, but you'll never see him on any of our stuff. So he's not a friendly. Yeah, Faded 420, I was just about to, but now I can't, just because you told me to. Especially like that. I just got to take my time, player. I gotta take my time. I've just discovered THCA hemp products. They have THCA, which serves THC when you light it. Congress trying to right now to close this loophole. Hemp industry employs around 300,000. Pamela, thank you for bringing that up. You're absolutely right. The THCA industry does employ quite a few people, and THCA, let's be real, is cannabis, y'all. Like, that's what it is. Saying THCA hemp products, Pam, I'm only giving context on what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you in any way, just so you don't think that. But THCA products are a loophole that allows people to sell cannabis that is typically coming through at, you know, 99% or 96% THCA, and in many cases lower than 0.3% THC, which I believe is the legal requirement for hemp, is that it has less than 0.3% THC. That means that right now with this loophole, you can be ordering a lot of stuff to your home that is actually real cannabis. It's not fake. It's not something like Delta 8 or CBN, just these extracted cannabinoids. It is actually just cannabis under the legal framework that allows them to get it to you. And it's pretty cool. Like, it's great that most of the country right now does have access to cannabis, but they are trying to close the loophole. I hope that doesn't happen, because it's not just going to remove access for people. It is going to recriminalize something that people have gotten used to not being criminalized, which means a lot more people are going to go to fucking jail for this than should, just because they assume that we're in the promised land now. So if you are a THCA user, be careful. They are trying to close the loophole. We could probably do some coverage on this next week. Matt, I'm sure you're in here. If maybe you can help give me some context on where things are going and where it's happening, I'd love to give people a heads up. Yeah, little MacBook, man. Man, doing the 5 to 7 means I don't even leave my office until 8 p.m., bro. So, like, this may become the new cadence of 3 to 5 p.m. allows me to do a solid 2-hour stream and then stay in the office another hour or two after. It just fits into my life way better. Good question, man. Well, can we, let's see if support can help you. I'm not sure about that. Hey, Red October. That's great, man. That's great. We all love the burning bush. Yeah, 57 likes, man. I feel like my mom is the one who always messages me and is like, you didn't tell them to like your stream. You got to tell them to like the stream. But she's probably not used to the new cadence also. All right, now that we're far enough away from someone telling me to shut up and dab, let me shut up and dab. Man, yo, chat, pretty sick though. Look at this matchy vibes right here. You know what I mean? This is pretty sick. They're all a little bit different, you know, but like pretty fire. A lot of people hating on the orange iPhone. Not me. Could never be me. Oh, thank you, Float on Chill. All right, what's the first dab of the day gonna be, man? You know, it's gotta be some Trikey. If I got some Trikey in the chest, I'm gonna hit the Trikey. Now this is the Lemon GZ. Amazing. You know, again, Tricadelics is one of those people, and I gotta hand it to the Frosties for really. The Frosties are not a small batch as Tricadelics. Maybe I'm saying too much. So it's amazing how I'm like, they're so there of like, it's hard to open a jar from them that isn't excellence. But damn, just check out this Trikey, man. This is what he's fucking doing. This is what a fresh Tricadelics jar looks like. Absolutely stunning, perfect color, terps off the fucking chain. It just, you know, it's one of the more pricey things that you can buy. I got no hot knives, guys. It's like normally I got 8 hot knives. Today I got none. But it's just so good. I'm not sure if we have more of the Donde style hash hats, but support, can you check? Thank you. How do you guys decide what colors to bring out for the peak and the pivot? Honestly, there's no science to it. It's kind of a shit show. Like we go through it. I used to be very imposing on what we would do and be like, these are the colors I fuck with, this is what I want. But over time, and especially the older I get, the more I feel like my perspective is less valid, that we have a much larger group of customers with a much more diverse taste than what I had before. I think before was a tighter group of people. It was easy for me to pick some wins. And so now we'll just start with a bunch of colors. We have amazing industrial designers. They'll start with that. You know, we picked the mocha for last year, I believe, and that brown ended up becoming the color of the year. And now if you look at the color of this year, the color of this year is phthalo green. I think it's like PHTA, something like that. Phthalo green. It looks exactly like the pine. Exactly like the pine. So our team is amazing in that the colors that were selected as being color of the year, and I think it might have been purple, the year of the bloom. Somehow, before they say color of the year, our team is already either developing it or it's released. I think that comes from how great they are at CMF and just how how tapped in they are. But there's no like really great process. They think of what would look best. They think of the season, when this product is going to be released. They order a bunch of colors. We look at them all on the table and we start questioning what really feels like it's going to be a win. But there's no real science to it. We're currently out of stock of the hats. Thank you, Puffco Support. Do you know if we'll be doing new ones? Can we get an Indiglo V2? Unlikely. You know, we never do V2s of things. We may do an ode to something in the future, not the Indiglo. That's no plan right now. And I only say that because the Daybreak was an ode to the sunset. If you look at both of them, they look completely different. Chat, this was so soft. This was just so soft. No resistance in the dabber, man. Like, it's like almost saucy the way it went through there. Stunning. Really, really got to give it to Tricadelics, man. Favorite member for the company Halloween party? That was not a company Halloween party. That was actually 2 of our beloved employees got married this weekend, and that the night before their wedding, they had a Halloween party, or like a costume party, I guess. And it was a blast. Catalina is super chill. I've never been there before. Man, Sinister, you just love throwing that triple sour fucking jar in my face. I got it. It's in my freezer right now. I got to take it home. I didn't want to pop the seal. Oh, damn, this is on white. This is going to kill me. I didn't want to pop the seal on it. So I'll have that next week. I'll bring the triple sour next week. You guys can see how I feel about it. I've tried a lot of good sour too, so I'm curious. Did I miss this? No. It's just going down. Man. I stopped being used to hitting this on white, man. I got used to this on, yeah, it was way too hot. I got used to this on red. Oh, God. That was too much. No more white dabs on street. That's an at-home thing only. Oh, Glock Lesnar, that's a losing battle, bro. I'm gonna lose every time in that battle. Whew, that worked, man. That one got me really high. Damn it. I've been getting high lately, chat. The last few streams, I've just been so fucking high. Way higher than usual. Yo, Jai, so the peak is totally ripped. Yeah, I don't believe you now, Train Man. We did that exercise last week. I feel like the half gram will work, but it's totally wasteful. Oh, God, that was fucking strong, man. It's really when it started, Glock, was like I started hitting the proxy after its release, and I was like, God damn, man, I can't just talk through this. Last one, I was cooked. I was fucking cooked. I mean, that's the whole point of this MacBook, right? Is like to sit here and engage with chat, you know? Fishing AZ, hit up support. Oh man, I want a new peak at a Halloween party in Montreal for the worst costume. We need to see that costume, bro. I definitely need to see that costume. All right, I mean, let's start jumping to some of the question chat. So we don't really have an agenda today. There's nothing to release. There's nothing to promote. You know, we kind of gone through it with the rest of the marketplace being available, the new seasonals that we have and stuff, the new videos that we posted. This is just an opportunity for you guys to ask any questions you want. Admin is funneling some over from IG. So like we'll definitely have some, but this is your moment, chat. You guys get to ask away. You got my time today. You don't have me just distracted with storytelling, for better or worse. I think you guys prefer it when I just go on rants and don't pay attention, but that's not the vibe today. Anyone know where to get Puffco gear in Bangkok? Chelsea would know, but Chelsea's currently on vacation. Current grow for your home hash. So I have to figure out the next grow that we're going to do. The Frosties were heavily involved with this last one. I don't know if they're going to have a lot of time for this one, but I'm hoping the next few weeks to figure out which clones I want to use. And that's tough because if you get clones from a grower, you want to grow them the way the grower grows them. Which means I wouldn't do something with the Frosties, but I really want to. They made that process so easy for us. So yeah, that's where it's currently at. You know, like the winter is here. It's a good time for us to do it. Growing in the summer was a bit of a challenge, just because like everything gets so hot and affects the plants. But we're close. We're pretty close. Why are you currently using the Peak over the Peak Pro? So the Peak Pro is too intense for me. That's it. I feel like I liked the Peak Pro better when it wasn't the 3D XL, but like the Peak Pro has really grown over time to meet the expectations of users who expect it to perform like a rig. And I actually don't, not to say I don't want it to perform like a rig, but I am not seeking that level of intensity. And I still hit the Peak Pro. Like all my homies, when we're out, everybody uses the Peak Pro. I'm in the minority with the Peak. Like I would say almost every person who is consuming at Puffco is like a regular hash user. They're just smoking the Peak Pro. But for me, I like it, man. It's an easier experience. I get to dab a ton. I feel like if I maybe have good context for you. The high that I get from Proxy and Peak is very social. I can keep speaking. I don't close down. I'm not in my own world. And that is how I like to get high from hash. I want to be social. I want to be lucid. I want to be able to have conversations. I want to be able to think. And the Peak Pro doesn't do that for me. The Peak Pro slaps me up. I can't think. I'm not social. I get in my head. I can't make a joke back. Like, that's great. That's what most people are chasing. They want something to completely destroy them. I want something I can go back to time and time and time again and keep using. And that's actually a privileged place to be in, right? Because it's so satisfying for me, but I get to keep going back. Most people just want to take a dab and be done. They don't want to have to go back to it. So like I love the Peak because it allows me to re-engage many times. But yeah, that's kind of my take. Can you do a video on how distributions work? I don't know what that means. What do they mean by distributions? What the fuck does that mean, Admin? Are we talking finances? I'm not going to talk about that here. Are we talking about, you know, what the fuck does that mean? I'm so curious. I don't know what else it could mean. Maybe I will give us context in a minute. Maybe he knows. Pivot is a game changer, but like the Pivot and the Peak, like how do we distribute? How do we distribute what? Oh, like Our products, yeah. I mean, like, you know, we have distributors. We have a handful of distributors that really help us in areas um, with small orders and stuff. And like maybe places that it doesn't make sense for Puffco to ship to. It's too expensive for us to ship and stuff. And they have their own accounts. We sell to a few distributors and then we go direct with a lot of places. If they're big enough, we have like minimum requirements. That's kind of how it works. Oh, thanks, Evan. Like, what does that mean? I believe wholesale at puffco.com is a way to find out. But we have like, we do have minimum order requirements to purchase direct from Puffco. Please do tell us about your portfolio diversification. Yo, funny enough, I'll bring it up. I never did crypto. And then my dumbass listened to one of the dumbest, most annoying human beings alive, Elon Musk, in the Doge fucking rug pull that he was pulling. Was like, I don't know, man. I guess I gotta get crypto at this point. Got Doge, it fully crashed. And I have not been invested in the stock market, chat. I'm not a money guy. I'm not really a businessman. I for a long time, I consider myself less that these days. Just consider myself with an artist with a high functioning business. We're trying to make products for people. And I don't really think of the money as anything but the thing that allows us to keep doing that. And finally, with seeing all these companies go big and feel like inflation is happening so quick and whatever money I do have is becoming less valuable every day, I finally invested in the stock market this week. And just like fucking Doge, my shit is looking bad right now, bro. My shit is looking bad right now. I feel like I knew it too. I'm like, I'm going to cause the recession. The second I buy something, the recession is here. So chat, this is your warning. The recession is officially here. My shit's fucked up. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about any of that. I have no interest in investing. I have no, like, I don't like that world. It is antithetical to my being. Like, I can't, it's not how I think. But, you know, it's how you have to think in this fucking world. Hold on for dear life. Yeah, I don't know, dog. It is what it is. I didn't put everything I have on it. I just put enough to feel like a fucking idiot. So, you're welcome, everyone. You could blame me for the fucking recession. Yeah, I wish I caught all that, man. Like, there's just never been an interest of mine, like investing and stuff like that. I get why people are into it. Like, it seems like, you know, kind of like gambling and also fun to like research things and put your money where your thoughts and your strategy are and see them win. Like, I could see that being fun, but it's just never been for me. And then it's like the people that make the most money, like, make it off of like buying Palantir stock, which I would never buy. But it's like, oh yeah, do you want to buy a piece of Skynet? The returns are crazy. It's like, oh man, I hate that world. The dude who predicted the 2008 crash just shorted some AI companies. Wonderful. I mean, I've been saying this whole year the AI bubble is going to crash. Whole year, but I've just, whatever, man. I don't know. This is low vibration stuff, chat. I'm not gonna. Nobody cares. Most people are not in a place where they can even invest, right? Like, that is a very small percentage of this country. Asks, love my PuffCon dry top. Any plans for releasing more glass tops of any kind? We should kick off that conversation. Admin, maybe if you can message a myth and see if we should consider releasing those dry tops and maybe some other colors or something. Something. Good. Fuck Palantir. Fuck Peter Thiel. I probably can't even say that, right? You're gonna have the fucking drones swarm my house, but like, I love how everybody's mad about like kids needing assistance with food, but you never hear those cats talk about the billionaire reptile. Yo, how the fuck did QAnon exist for so long? And now we have billionaire reptiles. And they're like, no, these guys, these are the ones that are going to save us. The children must starve so the billionaires can eat. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. We're in a wild time. I never want to go public, y'all. I'm being real. If Puffco ever did go public, like, I have no intentions of it. I will not be CEO of a public company. I couldn't do it. I couldn't go on here and say the things I say and be CEO of a public company. So probably never, I'm guessing. Probably. Did I say Palantir wrong? I don't How do I feel about Joe Rogan? He's a massive disappointment. I mean, like Joe Rogan is the person who got me into psychedelics, who got me into fitness, who I thought was not to say a great thinker, but a great questioner. You'd have really meaningful conversations. And now, bro is just like, I don't know, like the amount of times I see clips of him just saying something and then finding out it's wrong. And like, I think there was a time in the 2010s where a lot of people were anti-establishment. But as soon as you start like supporting the police and supporting the president, whatever the president is, bro, forget about who's the president. You're not counterculture, bro. Like, I think that's weird. I don't know if I would go on Rogan anymore. I don't know what I would have to gain to go on Rogan, but like the reason, if anything, I would consider it is like I am trying to maybe, and not that I have been politically divisive, I only talk about my morals and that's it. And I really try to like destigmatize people who maybe are on the other fence of that and like really give them room to evolve their perspective. The only thing I really want to talk about is advocating for hash. So like if I had a chance to go on to like, I know he's not the most listened to podcast in the world right now, but go on there and speak to a bunch of people who likely would be the ones to villainize hash. Vilify, one of the two. I would to advocate for it, but like it's just deeply disappointing that like the people that we've counted on speaking against the system and speaking for injustice and doing all these things, they did it through the lens of comedy. Now are people that uphold oppressive systems. It's just such a bummer, bro. Like, it's such a bummer. And I feel like it's weird. Like, we're in a time now where people are like, I love the president. What are you, corny? You hate the... Bro, that's weird, bro. I don't know. Being younger version of me, if a dude was really into the president or super into government, like, those people were fucking losers. And now we're in a reality where, like, I don't know, bro. Like, people think that's cool. I think that's weird. I don't think any comedian should be like, just like chilling. And again, I would put that on like both sides of like, and I hate saying both sides because, bro, you know why. But even like Obama being on that Mark Maron podcast, did Mark Maron ask him about all the kids he killed with drones? I don't know. I don't think he did. So like comedian's job, I think Adam Friedlander, he does a great job of being like what you should expect of a comedian or somebody who is bringing comedy to the table and engaging with politics. If they're not there to bend the knee and support them and be like, we need to make this person seem great. They're there to hold them accountable and fucking embarrass them. That's like what? What are we doing here? Y'all are glazing the government? What? That's crazy, bro. That's fucking crazy. Alright, anyways. Let's go on to I haven't hit one of these, I feel like, in a while on stream. Let's go to the next thing. What I got here today. Didn't pull too many jars. And you can't even say the bootlicking stuff. They can't understand it. They cannot understand it. Check out this jar, chat, of Soy Cubano. This is how their jars typically come through, bro. This might be a year-old jar. I actually think it is. I think this came out of, like, a place in my fridge or in my freezer that was, like, forgotten about. Let me just see if I can get a little bit out of here again. Just goes to show you, when we had that, this might have been from the last jar check in Colorado. I'm guessing that was about a year ago. I think it was. Because last time we were there was the Pivot launch, right? I think it was Pivot and Peak launch is when we were there. So this is, in the best case scenario, chat, over a year old. And like, let's just talk about the tech to get there. If you're somebody, again, privileged position to be in, most people buying hash are smoking it right away. They're not stocking up. They're not saving it. They're not putting a half an ounce on ice for the rest of the year. But if you're one of those people, if you're somebody who does want to save your hash for a while, here is my no-brainer tech that will keep a jar fresh for 18 months, almost guaranteed. You want to take a jar like this and you want to vac seal it completely. That's it. Put it in your freezer. Make sure it's cold. Leave it in your freezer. Don't take it in and out. Don't let that freezer lose power. Just make sure it's vac sealed. Want to make sure it's even better? Double seal it. Vac-seal it twice. It is going to last a shockingly long time. I've had water hash come out of the freezer after a year and a half, still sandy. It didn't even grease at all. Now there is some loss. This isn't going to be as good as the freshest of the freshest of the freshest jars, but I believe the loss is less than 3% of terps. Like, if you kept it in your pocket for the day, it would be worse than if you left it in your refrigerator for 18 fucking months. That's my tech. It's really simple, and it makes it so I can go and find a really old jar of hash that I forgot existed in my fridge because I put it in with something fresher and it kept getting pushed to the back, and it will look and smell damn near as good as when I got it. Highly recommend it, chat. Highly recommend it. Even if you bought enough hash for the month, you put a week of it out of the fridge because you're going to smoke it within a week. You put a week of it in the fridge. You put the other 2 weeks in the freezer. It'll be right there. All right, let's go. Ooh, I gotta clean that up later. All right, let's put this on red, man. That last one on white just kind of fucking, that was tough. I almost had to go on break for that. Puffco Peak Pro V3 not coming in. That's not something that's in the cards for this year. It's not something that's in the cards for next year, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to call them all Puffco, right? Like, that's just kind of, I found that's what just people do in general. A lot of people call a lot of knockoff devices Puffcos just because, like, it has been associated with vaporizing hash. Okay, this is ready. Pretty sure. I have had it stay fresh in the fridge for a really long time. But you're opening and closing your fridge all the time, man. And so, like, it just is going to go bad. It's why even, like, dispensaries that have a fridge that they open all the time, if something is in there for a couple months, it's going to go bad. Woo. Love my proxy, man. I love my proxy. I do not mix concentrates. You know, the last time I did that, back in the day, back when, like, distillate first came as the clear concentrate before we kind of all, you know, at least I knew what the fuck we were consuming. And this is also back in the day of, like, CBD isolate, so you get this white powder. And what I would do is, I actually, even though I was dabbing distillate at the time, 2014, 2015, when it first came out. Before we knew better, where I had actual good access to things. Before that, I would mix a dab of live resin. This was before rosin existed, and I dip it in CBD, like CBD isolate. And I thought that was pretty cool at the time. These days, I don't really feel a need for it. We do have our homies that do it. Sometimes when the gang will go out and they'll get gifted a bunch of jars, they'll make what they call a suicide jar, which is just taking all the jars they have and packing them into one specific jar. They don't mix it, but, you know, Wodie's laughing because it's him who I'm talking about. Is that Stone's Tech? I mean, the name Suicide Jar is fire. That's a fire name. Shout out to Stone. He's on vacation right now. But yeah, they'll do that. And maybe I've gotten a dab out of that jar, but I don't like to mix them, you know? The only time I like mix my concentrates is if it's going to go into like a joint or something. And I still try to keep them somewhat separate so I can get the flavor of each one. Okay. Proxy and a pineapple would probably work. I'd give it a shot. It reminds me, I gotta cut up some pineapple today. There's no way it's only 2. That's my 3rd dab, right? No, I did the... Yeah, you're right. Damn, bro, that should hit like it was fucking 3 dabs. Ever thought about adding a feature to the app where to let people know what date a new drop is going to be revealed? So I can get into a little bit of why this is so hard for us to do, or to talk about new things coming out. So one, Puffco's products typically are going between 18 months to 3 years from idea to it existing in your hand. That's the typical time frame. You know, like some things are easier than others, some things are luckier than others. We get there a little bit faster than we thought. Any major product that you see is going to take at least 2 years, like a pivot or a peak, anything like that. Now, when we're trying to do this, we're trying to land the plane on a certain date. And as we get closer, as we get to within maybe 9 months of it coming out, it starts going from around this 3-month period to this month. And then as we're maybe 6 months out or 4 months out, we're like, this date is looking good. We see what's going on. We see the things happening in the world. We're going to try to pick this date. Now, a million things can happen. There could be a quality control failure. There can be a customs seizure. There can be delays through customs where there's no seizure or anything like that. Sometimes they'll just stop things and inspect them, but they're fully backed up. There could be things that fell off a boat. We had Mocha pivots, thousands of them, that got held up with customs for a bullshit reason, and I think they had to go back and then back. It was, again, stupid, boring things, but once I commit a date to you and you see it, if I come through and I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, customs fucked me up, you're not going to care. And even if you care, you're like, oh, totally reasonable, Raj. All the people that didn't hear that and heard it are going to be like, man, get your shit together, Puffco. So for those reasons and many others, product development is a game of doing something perfectly is about as lucky as you can get. And getting close enough to the range that you're shooting for is an absolute win for almost all fucking companies. It's why you don't even see Apple announce a new product being available until the month it's available. They'll announce it and then they'll be like, oh, a couple weeks later you can actually buy it and you can start pre-ordering it now. And they even do it in a way that's less tethered to a date. But that's why we would love to give you that insight. It'd be greater for us. We could even start taking orders early, or we can have people like really gauging interest and seeing what to do months and months in advance. But it's just too hard to do. And yeah, we see it happen all the time. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on comments. I've lost some context here. I would never want to name a strain Alzheimer's. Like my biggest fear is getting Alzheimer's. I saw a report years ago that people that consume cannabis seem to get Alzheimer's less than others, than those who don't. Which I thought was cool, but it's still like, biggest fears are Alzheimer's, dementia, not sure what the difference is, and Parkinson's. Oh my God. So no, I would never call it that. I never want to look at a jar and be reminded of my greatest fucking fear. Did you have any other names for the brand before naming it Puffco? I was really trying to go for Dabco, and that was taken. So we ended up with Puffco, but I was actually trying to go with Dabco way back in the day. And this is what happened. And then I was thinking of other things like X-Vape and Xco. Fucking glad I didn't call it that shit, man. Super glad we didn't call it that. Word. Let's see. ELU, please check in with support. Pretty please. I know that Reddit is a place where like a lot of frustrations will be concentrated, no matter what issue you're experiencing. If you go to Reddit to validate that issue, just like me with any tech issue I experience, I usually Google it and Reddit, and I go there and you'd think that everybody experiences it, but the people searching for help on that issue have all gathered at Reddit to ask for help. But please talk to us, reach out to support, see what they can do. What are the contact pins change between a first release 3DXL to different contact pins on the new 3DXLs? You know, this is something that I actually don't know the reason why. My guess is resilience. Right, as we make our products over time, as we see areas that we can improve it, once we understand how they're being used, we usually make those improvements. With the OG Peak, we actually used to market those improvements and be like the V1 chamber, the V2 chamber, the V3 chamber. And each one would get better mainly in the area of resilience and nothing else. Your experience wouldn't really change. I think by the V4 chamber, we had let the chambers get a little bit hotter than we did with the originals. This is for the OG peaks. This is going back to 2019 by the time the V4 was out. And I think the V5 was going to be us closing the chamber, and we never got there because the pushback was too much. I've been wondering if we need to do that with the 3D XLs and show people like, look, here's a change that we made. The problem is it's just in areas of resilience, and so people don't really care about that. If we say this is the new V4 chamber, you want it to do something new. You don't want to hear it just will work better and last longer for you. So we stopped really communicating that, but you will over time see that we make these little changes to make mainly the product more resilient as we learn how people use it and we see the failures that occur in the field. Yeah, Puffco ended up being the name, man. It's weird. I almost changed it. I knew that the last chance I had to change it was right before the peak came out. I was like, this is it, man. If this thing pops off, we'll never be able to call it anything but Puffco. And you know, we grew into the name. I also hated the name Roger most of my life. I really wished it was something else. My whole fucking life. Roger Rabbit was a big movie when I was in 3rd grade. You know, showing my age here, which is pretty obvious. I just always hated the name Roger, man. It's worse shit. You meet somebody and, you know, they hear your name is Roger. Roger that. Fucking hate that shit, bro. Cornball ass. Alright. Anyways. But, you know, now I like the name. It's me. It's me. It's better than Jolly. Gotta stop. Because my easiest way to know when I am around someone who doesn't know me is they call me Jolly. It's the fastest path to like, yep, that's a person that only has a parasocial relationship with me. Let's see, what else do we got? Dev change logs would be cool as fuck, yeah. Puffco customer support outperforms so many other industries. We try. I think that like the reason that we get hate is because if your camera breaks, even if your car breaks in a weird way, like some of those things are expected and you've built time into your life to deal with those things. But when the device that you use to get high breaks, it feels like your world has fucking crashed. It feels like it's 110 degrees outside and your AC broke. And so like, I believe that our customer service does well. We are constantly thinking of ways that we can make it better. And I think you guys will see that over the next year of just like little process things we can do to get you guys the help you need faster with less things in the way. Yeah, I forgot I was going with that. Anyways, Jolly. Now it's going to be, I don't even want to say it because now people will know that, oh, don't call him Jolly, call him Roger. That'll confuse me. It's been a great filter for me to hear the Jolly thing. The captain of a fishing boat tells you to do something. It's customary to reply with Roger. You know, I get it. I'm not saying that. I just it's one of those names, you know. I think there are certain names where anytime you say them, people like, you know, will say a joke. Man. Let's see. 6-Star Savage, is it possible for you to make Puffco app profiles customizable without internet connectivity? I believe that we can do that on the Android app. We can't do that on iPhone. And the reason is that Apple does not allow us to put device controls for our vaporizer as an app on the App Store. And that's why the only way that you can get our app is by going and downloading the Path browser, which is a Bluetooth browser that allows you to connect to Bluetooth devices and use a web app to control them. And so like, I wish. We were thinking of like when we were releasing the Peak Pro is kind of like when Apple put out these rules and they did it while we were in development of the Peak Pro. So we were just like, holy shit, what do we do? We thought of releasing a little remote control for it or something you plug in, and just nothing was as elegant as what we have now. The worst part of it is you need an internet connection. That's the worst fucking part of it, but I hope it changes over Is it not customizable on Android without connectivity? Admin, can you ask a myth why that's the case? I would understand if they're not connected via Bluetooth, obviously, but without internet, how would they need that? Yeah, stay high. It's crazy. Am I still only 2 dabs in? I guess it's going to be a slow one today, chat. I will say it is shocking even to me now how many Puffco users there are and how many people know about Puffco. I got recognized at Catalina. I was outside in Catalina, fucked up, bro. I was fucked up late at night, and then I hear the infamous like, "Yo, you're the Puffco guy, aren't you?" And I was like, not in a mindset. Shout out to bro, man. I appreciate that he said hi. He was super respectful. Him, his lady, and then he brought over another friend after. Super respectful, but it's kind of crazy how popping it is right now. It's shocking even to me. What was the thought behind the Vortex and the Oculus cap? Pretty simple. We wanted a cap that would spin the oil in your bowl, and it does that really well. We just wanted something that would do that naturally. I think the problem for most people is that they prefer the joystick. Like, we would just see that everybody would end up getting a ball cap or something else, and we felt like we were forcing people into a system where they preferred another. But the Oculus Rift, man. I feel like one day we'll bring that tech back in some way. So, chat, another good example. God, I'm wondering if this is 2 years old. So again, 2 years old, right? And like, this is Kalia, 2 years old, still looking really good. This started off as fresh press, so it's not a cold cure, which is why it has that dry effect to it. I could stab tech this and make it a cold cure really easy, but this might be a 2+ year old jar, chat. It might be even older. And it still smells amazing. Still crazy honey banana terps on this. As you can tell, today was a day that I wanted to go in and clear some of my older stuff out. And I was very surprised to see a Kalia jar in my older things. It doesn't age like fine wine, unfortunately. Your best case scenario is preserving it to be like the original was. I think people that are more into traditional hash are into aging it and think it gets better over time, which is, I think, a matter of preference. But something like this, your goal is actually to keep that as fresh press. Like, somehow I failed that. I must have either pulled that out at one point or something. Like that one, that one was not stored the best. But that is a failure because it should have looked like fresh press even after 2 years with just a few less terps. But the fact that I fucked it up, it still smells like that and looks that great in color, that's awesome. This is a little bit weird. I'll jam on this in a second, Monster. Honey Banana is such a great strain because it's not the strongest, man. You could just chief it and chief it and chief it. You'll get high, but you'll never have to like stop talking or get slowed down. It tastes so great. It's so easy to smoke. Not too long ago, this strain would win every single hash competition it would be in. All right, let's talk about curing. All right, so Monster, let me get to your question here. I thought hash gets better when you cure it. Better really means that if you think something is great, then it means that the product has been produced in your favor, right? Like that's what great means. And to say something is better means that whatever process they're putting it through, they're making it better for the product you're trying to have by putting it through that process. Now, curing, as far as just generally curing flower grows, that's where you see a conversion from THCA to THC. The oxygen, room temperature, those are things that are going to break down the THCA and make it THC. Some people prefer that THC high to the THCA high. It gets you a little bit sleepier, right? Like, it's already somewhat converted. It'll also have more CBN in it. But that's just a part of the conversion of things that happen over time. When you're converting, when you're curing hash in general to like old school dark hash, there's Matt, help me out here. It's not a terpene, it's not a flavonoid, but it's got a name. It might be a terpene, and I believe it's called hashinine. And it's why all cured hash has a similar smell, because as you cure it, this terpene or flavonoid or something comes about. But is that what you're chasing? Is that the high you're chasing? Is that going to be able to be smoked in the way that you want? When you're doing piatella, you're barely curing piatella. Piatella is not put through a year-long curing process, and it's done in a refrigerator, I believe, or parts of it are done in a refrigerator. So it's sort of a cold cure. It is not curing in the sense that it is degrading over time. It's curing in the sense that it's being prepared for its final form of what they're trying to put it into. And so when you're curing stuff, like live resin is an uncured plant, right? They cut the plant live, processed it, and gave you live resin. Live rosin is the same thing. Ice water hash is typically the same thing. Those are all done with live plants. And so the people that think things get better when you cure it are usually old heads. Because back in the day, you could take something and it would change over time. And the high that it would get you over time is a stonier high. It's dumber, it's sleepier, it's like one of these. Over what we're all here chasing is like this new contemporary hash world, is we want to rip a dab and then rip another, and then rip another, and then get real chatty. And then if we stop taking the dabs in an hour and a half, we want to feel pretty sober, like able to move on with our days. When you age hash or you age flower, you get less of that ability. And so if what you're chasing is that stony high, then curing hash and curing flower is awesome. And if you're trying to get this uplifting, manageable high, then curing it in those ways is not as useful. And listen, language in the cannabis world is really confusing, because what does cold curing mean if you're not aging it, if you're not exposing it to oxygen, if you're not doing these other things that typically are associated with curing weed and hash? What does it all mean? And that's one of the harder things about giving context on the game, is we use the same term in multiple areas. They don't always mean the same thing. So is curing hash and curing flower better? Make it better? Not for me. Not for me. When I smoke flower, it has to be cured to get rid of moisture so you can smoke it. That's kind of what that's about, while maintaining the trichomes and trying not to let them degrade over time. But when it comes to hash, curing hash, like old school, leaving it out, letting it turn brown, all that does not make it better, in my opinion, because it's not in service of the experience that I'm chasing. Very long answer. Hope that makes some sense. It's a tough thing to give context on, because the word is used many times. Am I against live resin? I'm not against live resin at all. I think live resin, when it's made well, is a great experience for a lot of people. I prefer personally to use products that are minimally processed in my own life. And that's across the board, right? That's with the food I eat. That's with, I don't know, any topical products I use, anything I can. I'm still, you got to use the cancer deodorant, chat, lest you forget. If it ain't giving you cancer, the deodorant, you're stinky. You're stinky. You should know that. Outside of that, I'm trying to use minimally processed ingredients that I ingest. And rosin is that to me, right? It's not industrially processed. Even if it is, you're just using water to separate the trichomes mechanically, and then you're going and you're applying a little bit of heat and a bit of pressure to get what's inside of the trichomes, outside of the trichomes, leaving the trichome waxes behind. And so I believe that it is overall just a better processed material when you are smoking water hash or or when you're smoking rosin. But I do think live resin is really important, and I feel in a perfect world, everybody would be able to get really affordable rosin. If everybody was, they probably wouldn't choose live resin. But here's the harsh news for all of my rosin heads: rosin will never taste as good as BHO. That's just facts. That's just facts. You can't argue it, right? Like, there's no way to go around it. The terpene content is higher. I will still prefer the rosin, but also, some fruits that you get, those fruits are really fucking tasty when they're not the organic ones. They go hard. Now, they have like forever chemicals in there, and they're really not good for you. I prefer to get the best I can get through the organic, minimally processed route. And that's what I believe rosin is. But live resin is super valid and can be super safe. I would say that you should exercise caution, check lab reports, make sure that there's not a lot of residual solvents left in what you're consuming, and only get your BHO or your live resin through really reputable companies. That's my take. No, yeah, it's a tough, just like anything else, just like if we talk about food, it's a tough thing, it's a tough thing to talk to people about. Aren't they saying that right now, I believe you can buy organic chicken. If you get air chilled organic chicken, that's fine, minimally processed, that's cool. But if you get, it's like water dipped or something, organic chicken, they're dipping it in chlorine before they're packaging it. So like, which one do you prefer, right? It's probably still safe for you. You're gonna, I'm guessing, rinse your chicken or something, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And some people would lose their minds thinking about eating anything but that crazy pasture-raised organic chicken. And some people forget that not everybody can afford a fucking, $18, whatever the fuck a chicken costs now. I'm vegan, so I don't buy chicken, so I don't know. Where did the inspiration for the Irish colors come from? All right, hell yeah, I fuck with Ireland. We didn't intend for that, but that's just how it happened. I was against. This was actually supposed to be a burgundy, reddish, borderline purplish thing, and our team just felt like a lot of people are not gonna fuck with that. And they presented this, and I was kind of against it because I feel like orange is a wild color. Not everybody's going to pick an orange. I think very few people are going to pick an orange. I was definitely swayed when this was already being done. Like, this was in the plan for this whole year, I think. Canyon was already the plan. But seeing that they made the orange iPhone, I was like, oh shit, again, our fucking team is picking these colors that seem to show up in places that are bigger than us. And so like they picked that, but yeah, shout out to Ireland, man. I guess you got to get both. You got to get that and the cloud. Ireland is green, orange, and white, right? Yeah, you got to get that in the cloud. I think the cloud is going to be discontinued one day. But like you and all the homies, if you're in Ireland, you got to get those colors. Or if you're an Irish American or Irish Mexican or fucking whatever. You got to run that up. I didn't see it. I wish I knew some type of like Irish thing so I could say it, but like, I don't. Yeah, people are really fucking with it. I mean, listen, the pine is going to be the home run. That color is going to win everywhere. Like, I love that color so much. I was trying to get a jacket for weeks to match that color from a company I fuck with. And I couldn't do it. And they got, every time this company's jacket was posted, people would be like, that fucking color, it's insane, man, it's insane. And this ended up being the same thing. It's so fucking cool. But Canyon is that one that I believe you're going to see a lot less people using. So like if you're on the fence of both and you prefer the one that you're going to see less homies have, I think Canyon is the one for you. It's cool. It's really cool. No, I was saying earlier, no new Puffco Pro for quite some time. How did the Puffco logo come about? So the original Puffco logo was, I went to our first graphic designer, somebody I found outside of Puffco. God, there was some weird. I feel like I don't know if I'm getting Alzheimer's, if like I have so many memories that it's just impossible to carry them all. Like I gotta imagine not everybody has the amount of memories that I've experienced. Like life is more monotonous, I'm assuming, for most. Sorry, I got distracted just thinking about this graphic designer that I had like a weird interaction with years later. Anyways, this person I went to and I was like, yo, I want the iCloud logo. At the time, iCloud was brand new, I guess. But just make it an outline. And so if you look at the original double line Puffco logo, I don't know how you fucking find the chat, but it's out there. That's how it came about. And then I hired another graphic designer. Oh my god, this one, it took me some time to find a creative team of that I have to say was sane. Like these are well-adjusted people, and like now I'm surrounded by them. But that was in the journey early on. There was another guy we worked with that. Yeah, I didn't know who to talk to about this. I gotta like call up Chelsea. Like I just remember this guy. Remember he was really nasty to one of our employees. But anyways, that guy redid the Puffco logo. But then eventually, when we first hired Kirk, he's our current. He's not creative director anymore. He's something above that. But we hired Kirk. One of the first things that I put him on was like, hey man, I really want to change our logo. We're kind of like this cloud logo, but that's become overrepresented in the space. And other companies are doing similar things to us. And so he picked, and it would be cool to maybe go and find that. Admin, if you want to ask Kirk, he probably has the document somewhere of the original one he submitted to me of what, let's go through all these logos. Which one are you fucking with? Which ones aren't you fucking with? And in this time, we're developing the new peak. And so like we're developing the new peak and we're thinking about what this identity is for this new company, because as we're developing the new peak, we're a wax pen company. We're a vape pen company. That's not really a construct anymore. Now it's just vaporizer companies. But back then, almost all companies that were in the game were making vape pens. And so like that wasn't the same as Stores and Bickle, and that wasn't the same as PAX. It was like this sub-tier below. And we knew that our moment was coming where we are no longer going to be a vape pen company. We're now a vaporizer company, and we're making things that nobody has ever fucking seen before. What is the logo for that company? And I wanted it to be something that was a bit simple. And I remember when I went through all of them and I saw the new Puffco logo, I was like, ooh, that one is giving me tension. It almost seems evil. And then I went through this journey of like, well, we're going to disrupt this space. We're going to make this device that is going to change how people consume concentrates forever. And in that disruption, maybe some will see us as the bad guy. And if the only reason we wouldn't choose this logo is because it seems maybe ominous or Skynet-y, maybe we choose that just to be like, well, this is the clean tech future and it fits the image put on us, but maybe we can own that. It's a very weird thought to have. And that's kind of how we got there. We were like, this has a lot of tension in it, and we believe that the future of our brand will have a lot of tension in it. The cool side of it is that something most people don't know is that the Puffco logo is a P. It's a P. Look at the Puffco logo. Let's look at it actually from the top. I don't have trying to see if I have something else here. Let's just put it on the hash cam. I think that'll be easier. Yeah, that's a P, y'all. That's a P. A P for Puffco. So like that's the, it's cool that he was able to take a P and make it this iconic logo. That's fire, but that's kind of how my thought process was of working through it, of like, ooh, I don't love that. I want it to be friendlier. And then like, damn, if they're going to say this is like the Skynet of bongs or something like that, this is a fitting logo. It's a P, y'all. It's a P. We pushing P out here. We've been pushing P since 2018. Y'all didn't even know. You didn't even know. They had no idea we've been pushing P. They had no idea. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. Are you just finding that out also? Bro, it's a P. It's a P. That was the hardest part of it. I don't even think I realized it until after I approved the logo. Like, I don't think I actually knew that myself. It took me some time. You know, some of Kirk's greatest work, truly. I'm gonna save the water hash for a little bit later. Yeah, I know. Pushing P. Nobody's even saying that anymore. I'm just being silly. All right, y'all. This is the Frosties. You saw me hit this last week. Still fantastic. Just another one. It's probably a little darker than last week, just a smidge. But oh man, it's so good. It's a great one. Yeah, that's funny, chat. I'll bring up again in a year or two, like, oh yeah, the logo is a P, and almost nobody will know. It's not even that deep of lore. It's just nobody put it together. That's funny. My mom just messaged me and said she didn't know either. That's funny. Yeah, I guess we don't really talk about it. We just thought people would know. I'm absolutely loving the new proxy. After a week, I'm having low vapor production. Anyone else experienced this? Yeah, failed reaction. Reach out to support. The best thing would be any examples that you have, any videos that you can record, but reach out to support. We'd like to know that. If that's actually a thing that's happening. And not to in any way reduce what you're saying or like say that it's not true. But yeah, please let us know. I definitely rejected the yellow pro. Oh, well, not the yellow pro, the yellow peak. Man, that was fire. Damn Frosties. The team put a yellow one in front of me. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna want that shit. Sorry. I mean, it's good to see, man. Somebody might be hitting something and be like, damn, that's not really good vapor, but it's good vapor. I'm like, they just gotta turn up the temp. We should ask them, do we want to show people? Can we ask them if they got the yellow one back there? We ain't never gonna do it. If they got it, I probably wouldn't mind showing it. Maybe it's not a good idea with these new ones out. People are just gonna be like, nah, you gotta make it happen. There's gonna be 10 people who will be like, day 237 of asking for the yellow peak to exist. And they'll just be the only ones that even want it. Yeah. We'll hold it. Fantastic dab Frosties. Wonderful hash. Wonderful hash. Y'all ever think you're gonna drop the Peak Pro line? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Bro, all I can tell you is the longer something takes to develop, the greater it's going to be coming from Puffco. And that's all I'll say, man. Like I said, you're not gonna see a new Pro this year. You're not gonna see it next year. But just know, the more time we put into something, the pivot, the Peak, the Proxy, and the Peak Pro are gonna keep existing for the foreseeable future. We see them all. I think we got to give some better context on the difference between a Proxy and a Peak, because they're at a similar price point and some people are struggling to understand which to get, and I think we're struggling to help them find a clear path to what they want. But all these products are here to stay, man. And I wish I could talk to you more about what's going on in the R&D room, but like, I'll say this and I'll talk about it again for 2 years. Y'all, I think the best dabs I've ever taken in my life have happened in that R&D room. And I could just like tell you that like the future. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. Because what we have here today is amazing. What we have here today is better than like, for most people, it is better than any other experience they were ever going to have. Like, I know there's some people like, nah, bro, when I torch mine, I hear you. The future will be unquestionable. Like, a few years from now, you'll hear me saying, like, I don't even want to hear it, bro. There is literally no better way to consume. But Anytime. Anytime. But the R&D lab is fucking lit. It's fucking lit right now. The future is so bright. Yeah, it'll take time, Fal Bundy, but we'll get there. Like, right now, I'm so happy with our products. Like, it's insane. It's cool to know that we're shooting for the moon, though. Like, it's cool to know that wherever we're at today, there are levels to what we can do. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything else. Yeah, fuck. I'll be praying harder than you, Tyler, and we're both not gonna. That's gonna be an unanswered prayer. That's setting God up for a failure. I'll tell you that, man. All right. What's next? We got 4 dabs in. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I think the Say Less just destroyed me, so we're gonna go on some bounce. This is some bounce from Commonwealth out of Oregon. Again, fantastic terps. Bounce is a house favorite here at Puffco. Everybody loves it. I mean, Wody. Wody's going bonkers for the bounce. I feel like if they're selling bounce, Wody is there just first in line. I was kind of hating on it too, that first jar that I got, where I was like, this shit ain't for me. But it really won me over. Oh man, do they have the cross on here? Probably not. Huh, there's Tallimon in here? I wouldn't have guessed that. Yeah, Tallimon and something is Wodie's guess. I guess like Tallimon and Moonbow or something, because they cross so much Moonbow, but it might have not been. Yeah. Care to comment on the new proxy quality control issues we're seeing everywhere? Brother, I'm not even going to say your name, but you seem like... like, I don't know. Imagine you go to the Tim Cook live stream and you're like, care to talk about all of the product failures? And the name of the user account is Microsoft. I don't know, bro. I'm just going to say I don't believe you. Like, I don't know, player. You seem disingenuous. Haven't seen them. Like, I'm sure things are happening. Like, no matter what, when you're selling so many products, you're going to see people have issues. Whether it's user error, whether it's our error, doesn't matter. You're going to see stuff happening. But, like, I'm not going to believe you saying that, player. At least change your account to the burner. What's wrong with you? Oh, I got to extend this. Tombot, how am I not taking feedback about the product? Did I miss another comment you had? I'm just not going to take that seriously, and that's not feedback about the product. That's just being like, hey, everybody's saying you guys suck. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. All right, bro. Come on, chill out. Chill out. Chill. If somebody is having an issue, by the way, at least the chance to say, if you are having an issue with the new proxy or any of our products, I believe at this point, Puffco support, please correct me if I am wrong. 0 out of 10 rage bait. Fire. I should have said that first. Damn. Missed that opportunity. We both seen the same fucking TikTok. Like the rest of our products, I believe the Pivot, the Proxy, the New Peak, and the Peak Pro, I believe all of them have a 2-year manufacturer's warranty. 2 years. So, like, if you are experiencing an issue with the new Proxy, please holler. You got a warranty. That's one of the best parts about rocking with Puffco is we got your back if something is going wrong. But, like, I don't know. I just can't take that guy too seriously because he's literally got a competitor name in his name. I don't know, bro. Everyone else seems to be cool with it. But, like, if you are having an issue, listen, the majority of people are going to have a good... for most products, most successful products, most people are going to have a really, really good time with those products, and some won't. The good time doesn't invalidate the bad time that people are having, and the bad time doesn't invalidate the good time that people are having. So if you are having an issue, please reach out. We would love to help. If you feel like your issue isn't being met, you could send me a DM yourself. It happens all the time where somebody's like, I sent Puffco a DM and they never replied. usually they didn't actually see the reply from Puffco support. That is like 90% of the cases. But somebody will message me and I will go and send it to our team and they'll reach out to them. And so like you have multiple ways of getting the help you need, from like warranty.puffco.com to messaging our socials, which is not preferred, but we still help people with that, to messaging me if you've run out of options completely. But like we put a lot of work into this product and it is working fantastically well. I think the Pivot has a 2-year warranty. Puffco support the Juke with 2-year warranties, correct, boss man? Support, there we go. Pivot has a 2-year warranty as well. We believe in our products and we build them to last. And no matter how we build them, people are going to push them to their limits. And sometimes we'll show up as less than perfect. That just happens in general when you're making so many things. You know, whether it's sandwiches or iPhones or cars or underwear. Doesn't matter. Eventually, some people are going to encounter a failure. And it's just how do you handle that failure? And we like to think that we really show up when it matters for consumers. And if we don't, I am always here to hear that from you and hold our team accountable. But I don't know. To the person who is like, ask for, what did he say? Where was it? Here to take feedback about our product. Doesn't take feedback. I don't know. I don't know how I'm dismissing of that feedback. I feel like if you're going to make large claims about our brand that are not specific, that are like, everyone is saying this thing is horrible, I would take your word on that. Then in your world you believe that. But if the name of your username is literally a competitor, not even competitor, somebody who has, infringed on our products. What am I supposed to do there, man? I can't take you seriously. I can't take you seriously. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. Listen, we do our best. We're not perfect. Some people will say Puffco fell short on the experience I expected, and they're right. And maybe their expectations were too high. Maybe we fucked up. Maybe they reached out at a time where, like, I don't know, it's during Christmas break, or like we have reduced hours, or a new product came out and it's way more successful and the inquiries are crazy, so we're a little bit more slammed than we thought. And we might have fell short on their experience, man. That we're not perfect. Like, that can happen. But I'm always here. And so if you know enough to come here to complain, you know enough to be able to DM me and say, hey, this is where I need help. So I don't know, around. I mean, they did infringe, right? Like, I'm pretty sure they signed an agreement for that. I think so. Well, they certainly signed something, and that was in there. All right, what's next? Just through the hash that I brought. The Kalia. I didn't do the say less. Bingo Lombardi. I would say most people super valid. That was the first thing Kev told me when he tried the peak in 2017, and it chapped my fucking ass. We're like, before we really had it dialed in with the temperatures, Kevin hit the first peak in like, whatever the fuck it was prototype in our office. And he hits the first peak and he's like, it's good for travel, because the flavor wasn't there yet. We hadn't gotten to that part of it. We're like mastered that part of it. And since then, those words burn me, because like, this is my main form of consumption. Like, this is not just the travel rig for me, but it is for many, man. A lot of people I know. I think the 3DXL changed that for people, but not for everyone. And like, if I could say one of our biggest targets, like my high level thing that I want to reach, where even you can't say that, where the most stringent skeptics will not have an argument. That is what we're chasing. And it's going to take me some time to get there. But that is what we're chasing. It's that unequivocal. You're going to have to go and be like, well, I just like the glass art and this portion of it better. But like, we are chasing like an uncontested, this is the best way that hash could ever enter your lungs. And I already believe that we're there. But as we learn of where we fall short for others, like, we're going to reach into every crevice we can with that in the future. Anyways, mildly spicy take, mildly. But that is the goal. And all love to you. I take that as a true compliment of like, hey, it's great for me wherever I get to take it places, but it ain't, it ain't that. Have you seen this company's new battery, 510 pod, all in one system. I don't know what that is. Like, no offense, I am not going to be excited about a 510 pod in 2025. That is not. It's a great way to make money. I don't see it as innovative. I've been unimpressed with pod systems, and I'm just like, I don't want to debate it because people probably worked really fucking hard on that. So God bless them. I wish them all the success in the world, but that's not an exciting field of development for me. What's the next sport Puff wants to... Oh, this went off. I don't know what the next sport with a sponsor is. Like, we're trying to see where cannabis is really aligned, but like, how could we do NBA, man? Like, they're gonna crack us. They're gonna fucking crack us. So we'll see. We'll still be involved for sure in sports and other stuff, but like, we're gonna try to hack it, man, because we can't. We don't have these $1 million budgets to spend with the NBA to have somebody be like, "Hey, I don't smoke weed ever, but if you do, buy this." I don't want to have. Yeah, I don't know. We always have a new product in the works. Our current roadmap goes all the way to the end of 2027. And honestly, like, from what me and the team discussed, the thing that the company hasn't committed to, but we know happens right after, me and the people who think about the future products of the company, just a very small amount of people, like, thinking about it from the top level before we even seed it to anyone. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Our heads are all the way through 2028 right now. That's like where we have the vision of like all the things we want to do through the end of 2027. And then we think of like, well, then what naturally happens next? And we already have that. It's just a soft commitment between each other of like, this is what we think will be best unless things change over the next year. By the end of next year, we'll have the plans through 2028. So yeah, always in development of new products. We always feel like, when eventually everything turns into the iPhone, all tech eventually hits this vacuum of innovation where you do everything that can be done. And there's really little left to improve on the experience for others. Like, everything will seem like a minimal improvement above what previously happened. And I believe that we don't feel that that's the place we're going to be in until well into the 2030s. Like, we have really, really amazing vision for what the future can be, what the future of consumption is, the different areas of consumption that we can reach into, the way that we can, I'm trying to like watch my words here, make for tech that would improve all of our existing products. There's still so much left to do. And we're always looking years out into it, What's my goal for the hash community? Pretty simple. I want them to be safe from criminalization, and I want them to have access. That's it. I don't think that everyone needs to be a hash user. I don't think everyone needs to be a cannabis user. I think if you are a cannabis user, you don't need to be a hash user. But we believe that there are many parts of hash that would benefit you, and we love the opportunity to just preach about what we love. But like, my ultimate goal for the hash community is to have as many people in it as humanly possible that are safe to consume hash wherever they live and have access to purchasing it. And both of those are really the same thing, right? Without safe access, you are not safe. But that's my goal for the hash community. It's pretty broad and it's pretty selfish. I just want to be able to consume hash for the rest of my life. I want to know that I could be 60 years old and go and get some terps that are as amazing as I have here, locally, safely, without watching in the rearview mirror my whole ride home, afraid cops are going to get me. That's my goal, and I want that to not just exist here, I want that to exist everywhere. I can't impose my will on other countries or other communities, but I could try to foster communities that will advocate for the needs that we all share. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. I just want us to all have access to what we love. Yeah. No, I'm out of bevs. I'm out of bevs. Yeah, it would be a dream if Georgia ever legalized or decriminalized. I know that people get away with it in Atlanta. Um, man, Georgia's a scary place. Like, my only experience with Georgia is driving back when I was a very young man from New York to Miami. Because when you're young, I mean, there was a time where that was cheaper than a flight. That ain't the case anymore. There was a time. And when you drive through Georgia, man, you pucker up. Like, you're gonna have some cop pull you over, and he's wearing a cowboy hat. I don't even think it's a cowboy hat, but it's a cowboy looking hat, and it's scary, man. And they speak in that southern twang, and it's fucking scary, bro. Like, Georgia is I would be nervous being a cannabis user there. Now I know that many cannabis users in Georgia, and like Atlanta seems fire, man. Like I really want to visit, but I look forward to the day that Georgia and Atlanta also by proxy are safe to learn and engage with cannabis. Because right now the risk is just way too high. Like you can't really learn. You can't go to places and talk about it. You can't have meetups and see other people's stuff. Again, watching your back, looking in the rearview mirror as you drive home. So I really hope that happens for Atlanta one day, man. You guys deserve it. And it's just fucked up because there's so many people consuming in these places. Like, it's very silly that it's still illegal. And it is a shame that we haven't federally decriminalized it or made it for it to be illegal to be criminalized unless you're in the business of selling it. It's fair. Take that for now. Yeah, there you go. It's over if you see the big round hat. You're fucked, bro. You're fucked. You're going to jail. And they're going to scare the shit out of you, too. Oof, scary place. The hemp, the THCA world has some money behind it. Like, they've been able to advocate for themselves pretty well. I probably missed the question for you, admin. Oh, there it is. Favorite specific rolling papers at the moment? Well, this will be like, what's your favorite BlackRock owned fast food service, Raj? Because most of these papers are owned by one company. I'm not gonna get super into that, but like, anyways, it's it really depends on what I'm rolling. Shout out to Dope as Yola. He has new papers. I haven't actually fully got to try them yet, unfortunately. I know some people prefer Vibe papers. I thought those were cool. I use Raw Black. Again, it's in that kind of conglomerate, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I use Raw Black for a lot of my joints. I don't have them, but if I was rolling more spliffs, I'd be using the Raw Slims. They're the gray pack. They may even have Slim Blacks because it's a very short paper. Only makes sense for a spliff. And then Elements is what I typically roll for my big boy joints. I like the bigger paper. I like the way Elements smoke. I was smoking Elements before I was smoking Raw. Met my lady. She kind of got me a little bit into Raw. So I'm kind of in between those. The Elements, the Raw Black, the Raw Slim, those are all owned by the same company. They own Juicy J's. They own a bunch of other stuff. But that's what I use. That's what I prefer. Like, it's I think between the Raw Black and the Elements, those have smoked the best for me. Yeah, Juicy J before. I mean, that's, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's you guys should all always know like what brands are owned by. You should always make sure that choice is not an illusion. Like, so at least you know, right? Like, there might be nothing you could do with it, but knowing is power. Ooh, bro, that Randy's used to hit though, bro. Fucking Randy's back in the day when I was 19, sitting there bending that wire, smoking all classy and shit. I might have to go. Might be owned by the same company. Like, yeah, we're kind of talking about, might be talking about the same thing here. Yeah, great example, and I think a positive example of that. Kalia Community Cannabis, Resin Raiders. all of those brands are really loved and all of them are coming from the same people. That's fucking awesome, you know? So like, yeah, really, really good to know. I'm not trying to imply anything there. I'm just saying, like, you know, I think most people don't know that Randy's is back and based in Ohio. Randy's is back. Sorry, fine now. Yeah, I think Randy's did a knockoff Peak at one point or something. I think it ever popped off enough for us to have to address with them. But the life was simpler, bro. Life was simpler when Randy's is what we were smoking. I would go up to like the Rutgers. I remember like the last time I smoked it, I was in like the Rutgers University area in New Jersey, which I got from a shop. Oh my God, what was the name of that shop? It's kind of cool because they eventually ended up buying our products. J Friendlies. Oh my God, thank you for this walk down memory lane. There was a shop called J Friendlies. I believe they were in Baltimore and had a spot in Jersey. And that's where I would actually go and get my Elements papers from, my Randy's paper. This was probably back in like 2005, 6, 7. At least a half decade before Puffco was created. Never in my life would I have thought that one day they're going to sell my products here. Like, that's how far away I was from this dream. But J Friendlies, man, damn. I wonder, are they still... Is J Friendly still operational? They probably got a website. That's where I was getting the Randy's from. I almost want to roll one of those Randy's up, man. It's probably horrible. Yeah, J Friendly. They're still around. They're selling a bunch of glass now. Hell yeah. Yeah, they just strictly sell glass. That's cool, though. I mean, I used to buy papers from them, but that's cool. Unk does want a Randy. Yeah, you saw it, Ignatius. They tried. They tried. What jars are all the hype right now, man? I mean, everyone's in their own world. I mean, there's one jar that's no longer hype. People were real hype for it a while ago. And then everybody's like, why is everybody fucking with this dude? He's a misogynist and has been accused of beating his exes, and shit kept popping off. And then, you know, now everybody knows that this dude is a coward who beats on women, I think allegedly, but a judge granted an order of protection. So, at the very least, that dusty ass jar is no longer popping. Basement Grow Show. Did you guys ask that? Didn't you guys have him on your show? Was it yours or someone else's? I wonder how many people saw all those accusations about a guy being a horrible human. And then him backing that up by constantly talking shit about others. And about women publicly. A lot. And we're like, nah, this doesn't get in the way of us working with him. Yeah. I wonder if his ex posting that order of protection or whatever it was. Not Basement, that was another podcast. Thanks, admin. Yeah, I wonder. What were those texts too, man? I saw those texts. He was threatening to, again, allegedly, I read this. But I think the texts were that he was going to start spraying up her house with his gun or something. Damn, that's a weird one. Yeah, oh, just so you guys know, I'm talking about, these are alleged things. I'm talking about all the things that Real Deal Resin has been accused of. You know that guy who's always talked shit about Puffco and would always pick on Chelsea, but never pick on me? I'd be like, damn, that's a weird coward dude. Yeah, you guys remember that? Remember all the people that kept fucking with him after, and you guys should find his lady's page, because all the things that people were allegedly saying that this dude was doing, he was doing, man. So like, anyways, oh yeah, that dude, go in there. He's like, they're trying to assassinate my character. Go and find the screen grabs of what he was sending his lady. That dude is not a man, bro. I pressed that dude in person, and he's Mr. Yes, sir, trying to shake my hand, which I did not. You know what I mean? Real coward shit. But then to women, to Chelsea, he's a real tough guy. And to other women, he's a real tough guy. And so, like, if you hear that and you see this dude, who, by the way, I think he broke up with his hash maker. This dude is arguably, I promised myself I want to talk about this, but you know what? Here's my moment. This dude is a dude who pretends to be this hash maker, fucking sommelier. I know these terps. Bro, he can't even make hash. Small Batch Sam was his hash maker. This dude is arguably a white labeler. You guys got scammed by a wife-beating white labeler trapper who told you he had the best shit ever, and you guys were paying the super bop. Not you guys in the chat, the people who have ever said that was good. You were paying the super bop for a dude who was just making $1 on somebody else's thing. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody would talk about it. Everywhere he goes, there's drama. Everywhere he goes, he's starting shit. Again, mostly with women. Because he doesn't speak to men. Because he's a coward. And he's known to be a coward. And then we would tell people this, but they'd keep working with him. They would bring him on to judge their competitions. Slight thought it would cool to keep doing drops with him. I can keep going on and on and on, but like, yeah, didn't somebody accuse him of putting out a bunch of product that all had powdery mildew on it? Like, all that, man, all that. And mind you, like, hey bro, hash makers are doing their best. Some of them have a bad batch. Everybody goes through their struggles. And it wouldn't have been a problem, but this dude gets real tough with women in the space. And so, like, if you're gonna buy his terps, you better be getting a blowout deal. Otherwise, you're just supporting, like, one of the worst humans in the fucking game. But shout out to that dude, man. I could say all this, and bro is a coward who will never see me. Like, that dude is truly a coward. I spoke to him in person and I told him, don't ever disrespect my people like that. He told me he wouldn't, and then he kept doing it months later and went online, and it's only the women he would do this to. So, like, anyways, just so you guys know, Real Deal Resin, if I were you, I would not purchase that brand. And if you see someone using it, I would put them on. That dude has allegedly threatened and harmed the women in his life repeatedly. I believe the most recent one got an order of protection against him. This has been industry information for a while back end that hasn't been public, but I don't need to bite my tongue for misogynists and woman beaters. So, like, you guys should know that is the most embarrassing jar you can bring anywhere. So if you had to get one, rip that fucking label off and call it a Small Batch Sam, because that dude is a fucking coward. Chelsea would ruin him, bro. Chelsea has created more opportunity for the hash world than arguably any other individual in the space. The amount of people she has put onto hash by connecting the bridge and getting people to buy e-rigs and sell this vision of the hash agenda for us. The amount of revenue, mind you, Chelsea's been in charge of our revenue for most of the journey of Puffco. It's just like a brief stint as she went to focus on international. So, like, the work she's done in expanding the hash agenda is more than this tiny little human could ever dream of. And that's why he hates women, because so many of them are so much more powerful than him. But then on the other end, yeah, Chelsea's like a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. She could beat me up. And this dude be boxing with my ankles. Just like a tiny, sad guy. So, like, if I were him, I would have never talked shit about Chelsea, because if she wasn't a business professional, that'd be a fight he would have lost. It'd be pretty embarrassing. Yeah, anyways. Ever thought about friendly propaganda? No, I don't think of like putting out like weird beefs or anything. I don't like that, man. I want to stay out of drama, and I promised myself I wouldn't even talk about that. I've like kept my mouth shut on this issue for a long time, and it was hard for me to swallow, because this dude wouldn't just be a misogynist, wouldn't rally other misogynists in the space, but would get people that I once respected to accept misogyny within a hash game. And again, that's why I don't fuck with Slide 23, and that's why I don't fuck with other people that platform this guy while everybody knows he's doing his thing. So anyways, yeah, shout out to that dude. Congrats, bud. Everybody now knows. Your secret's out. When that dude was doing all those things, I would tell my people, time is our greatest weapon, and one day everyone will know. And time's here, bud. Maybe move to Mexico and find another culture to appropriate and like take advantage of, like you have been doing with your shows. Maybe go and start a new life in a different name, because you're fucking cooked here. Because we don't want women beaters around, you fucking weirdo. Sorry guys, I'll move on. Thank you for letting me get that out of my system. I really appreciate it. Please spread the good word. Let them know. Let him know. And Basement Grow Show, sorry if I accidentally thought that you had him on there. I'm just on my, like, now's not a time to bite my tongue. Yeah. But let your homies know. Let them know. Go find his page. Ask him. Go and ask him why he threatened his lady like that. Go and ask him. See what he says. Oh, thank you, Olivia. I just say this because I've been waiting for it, man. I wish Chelsea was watching the stream to see it. She'd probably tell me to shut up. Because, like, I've seen this dude bully who was effectively like a little sister to me for, like, quite some time, man. And turns out he does even worse to women he loves. Fuck that guy. Did I see someone say about Dottie won? Is it official? That Mamdani won? Somebody said that? I'm ready. I'd send Mamdani a care package if I could. But he, you know, you can't do political gifts, right? Like, that's considered a political gift, so I didn't even offer it. But goddamn, man, fuck yeah, I would in a heartbeat, bro. In a fucking heartbeat. Am I ripping the peak dry? I am, Eddie. I really like ripping it dry, man. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. Well, I tried Dope as Yola's new proper rolling papers. I fucking need to. I better. I feel stupid that I haven't tried them yet. Admin, can you help me with that? Either do not ask him for them, please. I either have some somewhere here that I brought back, and if I don't, let's just order some offline to the office. I just don't want him to send it. He already blessed me with a care package, and if I, yeah. And I'll give it a genuine shot. It's the first time he's dropping something, so like, I'll do my best to be as real as possible. Listen, I'm probably not going to want to bring it up if I think they're dog shit. I'm probably just going to breeze right past it or ignore it. I'd rather give him that feedback privately than like talk about that perfectly. Publicly. Goddamn am I. Yeah. Man, Admin chickened out. He said it 1 million, bro. He originally did say it 100,000. And Admin's looking good, bro. Admin's looking good, bro. You need to show him. You should stun on him, bro. You know what we should do? We should do like, how about this, Admin? We should have the joint stream at 1 million, right? So like at 1 million, you come on here and we talk. This is the admin stream. We connect, we give game, we talk about it. I would say at 500,000, we need an admin video. I said 1 million before, right? Was that, what was I saying? Yeah, so at 1 million, we get the full stream. At 500,000, we get a video. It's almost like a 360, like we get to see admin in action. It's not 2D. But yo, admin, I think at 100,000, you gotta do the picture, bro. You gotta do the picture. Something, bro. Like, you gotta show them. At least something. At least like a photograph I could just put on here and be like, this is him. At least a half a face. Because who's gonna take your word on the 500,000 if you already flaked on the 100? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, yeah, you can't keep moving the goalposts, bro. I think 100,000 is coming soon. A picture I could just put here. We could have fun with it too. Nah, you signed on for the 100,000, dog. You can't sign on. You made a bet and you lost the bet, and now you're trying to place another. You gotta pay, bro. You gotta pay. You gotta pay at least a little bit. You could have like size requirements of like, maybe we could just put a little sticker of your face on the top view and you can't really see. Damn, bro. Damn. He is tight. He just gave an all caps negative. Like, I will. Oh, no, he didn't. That was someone else. I was like, damn, bro, he's getting tight about this. Fuck. You got to show him, admin. I mean, I don't know why, you know. It's not like we're going to put it up in a main post. Like, what if we get like a 3-second window to show it? Just 3 seconds, bro. Yeah, they'll screen grab it, but those are your fans, admin. Those are your fans. Somebody's going to stop it and screen grab and look in. Come on. The voice is going to fuck you up more than the face, to be honest. I'm going to keep it real with you. The voice is really going to fuck you up. You're not ready for the voice. The voice is unexpected. The face is not going to fuck you up. The face is just going to be like, damn, that person looks cooler than I would expect an admin to look. But the voice is going to be like, wait a minute. Huh? You're going to have a lot of questions when you hear the voice. I'm probably saying too much. He's probably so mad right now. Dog, you got to give it to us. Damn. Damn, yo, Glock's got a point. You can't kick him for speaking the truth, admin. I'm hot. Oh, shit, we're at 8 dabs? And it's already 5 o'clock. Oh, man. All right, let me get through 2 more. I have water hash here. Thought I had more than 1 water hash. But I guess not. All right, bet. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna do the honey banana from Kalia, because that's an easy dab. It's just easy pickings. And then I'll finish off with the Wook sauce dab, because that one's gonna do me in. I'm not gonna give any hint on his voice, because that's a real treat. I didn't even think about it until now. I just didn't even think about it until like when they were like the voice is like, oh wait, no, that's the good reveal. Man. Damn, admin deleted one of Glock's messages. Admin, you're being deranged, bro. You're being a bad mod right now. This is abuse of power. You're moving the goalposts and you're silencing the people, bro. What does that remind you of? Come on, bro. Yeah, this is totally abuse of power. Yo. 3. Come on, admin. Come on. Glock, if you're still watching, I'm sorry, bro. He's tweaking, bro. Don't let him get you down. He's tweaking, man. Yo, straight up. Admin's on his Cuomo shit right now. Straight the fuck up. Trey Man's disappointed. This is a real fiasco, man. He's so tight, bro. He is so tight. You gotta understand, bro. I have never seen... Admin got a new haircut. This motherfucker was looking fly as hell this weekend. I don't think I've ever seen this man flyer. I don't know if there's been a flyer moment in his life. No. I shouldn't have said the Cuomo thing. That was actually really fucked up. He is not a Cuomo. That's right. We got to figure something else out. But we got to stop maybe linking it to politics. It's not a good move overall. He's just, he's not being a man of his word right now. Just not being a man of his word. 10's gonna peak pro white. Yeah, right. I'm free, Cody. Damn, I know he's pissed too because he's silent. He's probably gonna hit me up and be like, "Hey, bro, you can't say that again." I don't know why. It's gotta come out of hiding, man. People want to know. Transparency. It's what we're all about here, Puffco, right, admin? I mean, you've seen him. If you follow us enough, you've seen him pass a screen. You just didn't know it was him. You've seen him. He's been out there. He's been photographed with us before. Man, I am high. God damn. God damn. One dab left. He's just not saying a word. I know bro is pissed, bro. I've never seen Admin this quiet, man. This scared me a little bit, to be honest with you. He might have left. Admin might have left. Damn, let's check out this book sauce. Alright, as we can see again, we gotta maybe try a little bit with the camera. We might have to like do something else because it's really hard to see this like glazed over hash. This is water hash from Look Sauce Winery. Yo, Admin might have left. He might have left. I don't know if we can confirm that, but he might be gone. He might be gone. This is not fresh press. This is ice water hash, but it really depends on the fresh press. I believe that the better it is, the faster it turns. So like, if you have no terps in your rosin, it's gonna stay like fresh press for potentially a few days. And if it's crazy terpy, it might barely make it a day before you start to see it like, you know, turn. All right, Admin's here. We'll move on, Admin. We're not trying to cross a boundary. Let's turn this down to green. Bro's name was Carta. That trip, that was the laziest fucking rage baiting I've ever seen. That was the absolute laziest rage baiting ever. Well, when he's back next Tuesday, maybe we could see what his burner account's name is. Bro, Admin, did you see the fucking... Trainman's comment is reminding me of the fucking... I'll show it to you after this code. I sent Kevin and Admin a spicy DM earlier. Oh, this is the 10 skeets, by the way, chat. And perfectly at 5. What a great one. Ooh. Sour Zuyaki. Whoa, this is very interesting terms. I should have gone lower on this even, but it's reminding me of something, man. Like I can't think of it. It's like a very specific taste. All right, let's go. Let's clean this up. I hang with you, chat. As I clean this up, it's gonna take me just another extra second because it was water hash. Yeah, Kev got a new look. He had that new look by PuffCon. He's looking like he got his life together. Kevin's looking like he's newly sober. He's looking like he made it out of the treatment center and turned his life around. He's being a good father to his kids now, man. Kevin has no kids. He just has a couple of doggos. But no, Kevin is looking clean as a whistle, man. He's looking great. I mean it in the nicest way. It's just such a stark contrast to like him with long hair and all like, you know, wooked out to about as like clean as can be. Clean as can be, man. He looks fucking great. He's looking fucking sharp at the wedding. Sharper than me. Alright, getting near the end here, chat. Kevin never really looked like that. He had a buzz cut, I feel like, if you go back like a decade, back to his like pre-Puffco days. He had a little bit of a buzz cut, but he never looked like that. He never had like a super clean haircut, super clean beard. Like, yeah. Yep, it was Tommy Chong. People were asking me if it was something else. References weren't making sense. I didn't remember that, but yeah. I gotta. That's what I wanted to watch. You know, later you're trying to figure out what movies to watch. You should run some old Cheech and Chong. I haven't seen some of that stuff in forever. All right, chat. Young Hoodlum. Okay. All right. That's about it, chat. Thank you. I'm gonna talk to admin. I want to keep the pressure on him, but I can't tell if he's really mad or not, or if this is just a bit he's pulling. We gotta find out if we can keep the bit going, or like, the thing is, we're dangerously close to 100. Maybe we could just do like a top half reveal. Like,
That's why he was getting so tight. We are close.
we're right here. He knows that it's less than a month away, probably.
It was less pressure when he said it. Like, you know.
Sadman. They called him Sadman. Damn. Damn. What happened?
Somebody said go watch Chainsaw Man. Watch Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man? Is that any good?
But it's
Chainsaw Man. Okay, sick. I'll check that. Pull your hat back down. Holy shine. Yeah, bro, let me take this whole thing off. Bah! Blinded, bro. I'm like fucking Cyclops in the X-Men, but it comes out of my fucking top of my head. Blind you right away. This is my fucking deterrent right here. This shit is extra smooth today, man. Extra smooth. Damn, look at that. Just real bowling ball shit today, man. Anyways, all right. Rare hat off. All right, y'all. Thank you. See you next Tuesday. Peace.
What is your definition of happiness?
A clear horizon. Nothing to worry about. Only things that are creative.